Alright, for today's lesson we're going to be looking at how to find the side length. We're also going to look again, like in our last video, at how to approximate side lengths using perfect square numbers that we know that it would be between. So our learning target for today, I can find the value of square roots by estimating using a calculator and by using a graph. Problem 80, Nikita wants to use the area of the squares in the figure at the right to find the lengths of the sides of a right triangle. We're going to find the missing area first. So if we look at the side lengths, or the areas that we know, this is our hypotenuse here. So then this has to be the sum of these two areas here. So 16 plus 4 would make 20. So that missing side has an area of 4. What are the lengths of the right triangle in Nikita's diagram, and how do we know? I would start with the ones that are easiest to find. 4 times 4 would make 16, so that side has to be a side length of 4. 2 times 2 would be 4, so a square root of 4 would get us back to 2 for that. And then this one, it's not going to be a nice number like 2 or 4 were. So if we think about 4 times 4 is 16, 5 times 5 is 25, so that number that has to be multiplied by itself to get 20 has to be somewhere between 4 and 5. So I would say that missing side length is between 4 and 5. And just like on these other ones when we went backwards, square root of 16 was 4, square root of 4 was 2 for those side lengths. Square root of 20 would be that exact side length. And we can say that square root of 20 is between 4 and 5. For number 81, the numbers 36, 64, 4, 16, 100, 144, 121, and 225 are all examples of perfect squares. If each of these numbers represents the number of square units in a square, what is the length of each square? So if the area was 36, that would have to be a side length of 6 for that square. So 6 is the length for that one. If the area was 64, that would have to be an 8 by 8 square. If the area was 4, that would have to be a 2 by 2 square. And each time what we're doing is we're doing the square root of that number. So square root of 16 is 4, square root of 100 is 10, square root of 144 is 12, square root of 121 is 11, and square root of 225 is 15. Why do we think these numbers are called perfect squares? And I would say because they have a nice whole number as a side length that would give us that area. So in contrast to that, if we said a square with an area of 11, there's no number, no whole number, that we can multiply by itself that would give us 11. So when we do the square root of 11, we're going to get something that's a lot messier. So if we went to our calculator, we would see that approximate number there. But we can use perfect squares to figure out what it's in between. So if I look at square root of 16, that's a nice number, square root of 4. Square root of 16 is more than square root of 11. And the other one that would be just below 4 would come from square root of 9. So we know that square root of 11 is somewhere between square root of 9 and square root of 16. And square root of 9 is the same as 3. So square root of 11 is more than 3 and less than 4. So we can use those perfect square roots to estimate where those non-perfect square roots would be. So problem 82, find the side length of a square with a particular area. Use an operation called the square root. We've been using that already. The square root symbol looks like this, and it is also called a radical sign. To find the side length of a square with an area of 81 square units, for example, you would write, and you would read it as the square root of 81, since 9 times 9 is 81, then the square root of 81 is equal to 9. So square root of 49 is 7, because 7 times 7 equals 49. Square root of 121 is 11, because 11 times 11 equals 121. Square root of 9 is 3, because 3 times 3 equals 9. And square root of 169 is 13, because 13 times 13 equals 169. Okay, problem 83 is talking about a problem that we didn't actually do. But if you were to try to make a square with 24 tiles, it wouldn't be possible, because we would get down to something that looks close to a square, but we would be missing one square that we need. So for part B, we're going to estimate the side length of a square that does have an area of 24 square units. So if this one was not missing, that would be a square with an area of 25 square units, and that would come from a square that has a side length of 5 by 5. But it doesn't have that one. So this tile right here doesn't actually have that one. So we know that it's going to be less than an area of 25. So square root of 24, let's go back to black here. Square root of 24 is less than square root of 25, and the next number down that would have been a nice area would be 16. So square root of 16 is less than square root of 24, and square root of 24 is less than square root of 25. So we know that the square root of 24 as an approximate decimal would be somewhere between 4 and 5. And the exact value of square root of 24 is also between 4 and 5. So square root of 24 is somewhere between 4 and 5. And if you notice here, 24 is pretty close to 25. So if I were to estimate before I went to a calculator, I would say that it'd be like 4.8 or 4.9. And then you could actually calculate it out to see exactly what it comes out to be. So off screen, I actually just calculated that on my calculator. So I checked out 4.8 squared, and that gave me 23.04. 4.9 squared gave me 24.01. If I wanted to try 4.85, that gave me 23.53 approximately. Okay, so when I'm doing that though, those are not exact values. Square root of 24 is the exact value, and if I actually calculated that out, square root of 24 on my calculator, it's going to show me 4.898979486, and just because the calculator screen ends, it looks like that's it. But that keeps going, and it has no pattern. And another number that we've used in our math learning history is pi, which is similar in that it has a decimal that never repeats a pattern and that never ends. And pi is irrational. And so is any square root of a non-perfect square number. So in this case, we're seeing that square root of 24, non-square number, is also an irrational number. Alright, we're going to be looking for between which two whole numbers is each of the following square roots. To which whole number do you think it is closer? Estimate the value of the square root to the nearest 10th, 0.1. to find it helpful to create, you may find it helpful to create a list of whole numbers from 1 to 17. I made a list of mine below here, and they're squares to use with this kind of a problem. So square root of 40, if we're thinking of our squares and side lengths of our triangles here, square root of 40 would be the side length for a square that had an area of 40. So we're looking for the square root of 40. So if I'm looking at my areas list here, that number is going to be between 36 and 49, and that would be side lengths between 6 and 7. So I know that square root of 40 is going to be between 6 and 7. And if I look at 40, that's 9 away from 49, and that is 4 away from 36. So if I think of 6.5 as my halfway point, it's closer to 36 than it is 49. So if I made a guess and said, I don't know, 6.3, let's check that out, 6.3. So if I say 6.3 squared, because I want to see how I did here, 6.3 squared, I'm going to get 39.69, which is pretty close to 40, not bad. Next one, letter B, square root of 95. So again, that would be an area of a square of 95 with a side length of square root of 95. So my areas that 95 is between, that's happening between 81 and 100. And again here, 95 is closer to 100. It's only 5 away compared to 19 away. Oh, just kidding. 14 away from 95 to 81. So we know that it's going to be closer to that area of 100. And that's going to come from side lengths that are between 9 and 10. So I know that square root of 95 is between 9 and 10. And I said already that it's closer to 10 than it is 9. So if I'm going to make an estimate here, and again, I'm going to check my estimate out here, I'm going to say 9.8. So I'm going to check out 9.8 and see how I did here. I got 96.04, so maybe I make an adjustment here. 9.7 squared, 94.09. I don't know, so I'm gonna be okay with 9.8 as my estimate there. Square root of 3. Again, that would come from an area of a square of 3, side length of square root of 3. So if I look at my areas, that's between 1 and 4. If I look at my side lengths, that's between 1 and 2. So I know square root of 3 is between lengths of 1 and 2. And if I look at 3 compared to 4, that's 1 away. And 3 compared to 1, that's 2 away. So I know that it's going to be closer to 2 than it is to 3. And I happen to know what the square root of 3 approximately is. So I'm just going to say 1.7. You can check that out if you don't believe me, but that's pretty close. Letter D, square root of 59. Again, that would be an area of 59, which is going to be between 49 and 64. So if I look at my side lengths here, between 7 and 8, so square root of 59 is somewhere between 7 and 8. And if I look at 59 compared to 64, that's 5 away. And 59 compared to 49, that's 10 away. So that's going to be closer to 8 than it is to 7. And again, I'm just going to make an estimate here. We're going to say 7.7, and I'm going to check that out. 7.7 squared. Wow, pretty good, Mr. Schwen. 59.29. So I'm going to be okay with that estimate there. Square root of 200. Area of 200 would be between 196 and 225. 200 is a lot closer to 196 than it is 225. So that's going to be between 14 and 15, closer to 14, and I'm even going to say 14.2 is my estimate. So we'll check that out. 14.2 squared. I get 201.64. Not bad. Moving on. 154 as an area for a side length of square root of 154. So it's going to be between side lengths of 12 and 13. And this is square root of 154. And 154 is 10 away from 144. And 154 is 15 away from 169. So it is closer to 12 than it is 13. So I'm going to maybe make a guess here and say 12.3. We'll see how I do here. 12.3 squared. 151, not bad. Let's check out 12.4 squared. 153.76, that's a little bit better, so I'm going to make that 12.4 instead of 12.3. Again, though, I'm not saying that that is what it's equal to. I'm saying square root of 154 is about 12.4. The exact value, the best way to leave it for right now is just to say square root of 154 is between 12 and 13. Closer to 12 than it is 13.